Scott, you know we start the episodes the same way every time.
Yeah, I had to teach it to you, but yep.
What? All right.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
3,
2.
1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Talking Stone podcast. I'm once again joined by John.
Silk.
Yes, we love John here, and he is the only crazy person who's like, yeah, no.
Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, today's January 1st.
Woo!
The New Year's episode. I forgot.
It is.
It is.
Aren't you excited?
I am so happy to be in 2025.
This is great to be in 2025. Scott,
2025.
what can
I
we
can't wait
say-
to dive in.
What can we say about the future?
Oh, what can I say about the future? Well, it's 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to dive in. It's 2025. I'm going to get 5 more tries. It's 2025.
At what?
It's going to be a Vine 2025.
That was just the 24 bit.
No, it's not. It's every year I do this bit. And whenever it's New Year's, I try rhyming things with the year.
Is it the 25?
So last year was
Five Guys burgers. I'm hungry.
Well, so this is off to a great start.
Yeah. So welcome back to the Talking Stone podcast. I'm Scott Ialachi.
And I'm John Silk. Rosebud and Thorn. So my rose this week.
To both.
Nah, well, I guess we could do the whole year because it is the New Year's episode.
Yeah?
Thank you. So what is your bud of the next year? What is your thorn of this year, 2024? And what is your bud of the year?
Wait, bud of 2024?
Yeah, because I mean not bud.
But-
I mean
Rose.
Rose.
I was gonna say you did double
I
bud.
did double bud.
He double budded me.
So the floor's yours.
Okay, so I'd have to. What do you usually you start with? Thorn. I'll start with thorn.
You start with a thorn, okay.
Yeah.
Changing the flow.
Starting with a thorn for 2024, it was kind of just a hectic year. I started freshman semester of college, which was not a bad change, just a big change. So, we're excited for it. We're happy for it. I got to meet Scott, my beautiful girlfriend. It's a great day to be a knight. And only the girl in the room will get that reference. The girl of my friend. Anyway.
So subtle with that. It's his girlfriend for the uninformed. So your thorn was meeting all of us?
No, my thorn was the move from home, missing home.
Oh, okay, got it.
Be that change. So, what was my bud of the year?
Well, of the coming year. It's
The coming year. Yeah.
I mean, we're here. It's
We are here. It is 2025, ladies and gentlemen. We love it here.
So what's your bud?
The bud of this coming year is to live long and prosper. My hand got covered by the mic. It's depressing. But I would say to, keep living my life, try to figure out some things that I need to have figured out, and hopefully another year of, happy friendships.
My rose.
I never got to my rose.
Oh, that's right.
You
did it
rat
out of
bastard.
order. Okay.
All right. My rose for 24 would be you guys.
They say his heart grew 3 times bigger that day.
He said that twice in the last hour.
Because it's a great joke.
I gotta stop hanging out with this guy.
It's a great bit. I love the bit.
Guys,
So
help me.
your roses meeting all of us.
Meeting everyone in this room, yeah.
That's so nice and wholesome.
To the massive audience behind the cameras that the rest of the audience here can't see. See, what people don't know is me and Scott started this as an in-person show. And then we moved to online, which is why our following is so much smaller online. In fact, we are in a stadium of 3,000 people.
What are you talking about?
Let's go, Scott.
Okay.
Scott, what is your rosebud and thorn
Yes.
of this year and the coming year? So bud of the next year, and then rose and thorn of this year.
So my rose for
This year, as in being last year. My bad. Sorry, guys.
Well, yeah, and we knew what you meant. It's that like brain shifting from the, it was New Year's or Old Year's was only yesterday. So
This
it's
was like less than 12 hours ago. Yeah. From when we're releasing this, yeah.
Yeah, from when we're releasing it. We didn't
Yeah.
record this on New Year's. Oh gosh, the story's out.
Oh!
We're spending right now time with our families and just having fun. So I guess my
Beating
rose.
everyone at Monopoly.
My
Do you,
brother loves
do
Monopoly.
you guys play that at your house?
We don't anymore.
So
not
we're
because
not
of-
allowed
Not
to?
after my brother. My
Well-
brother took it a little too far one year, and we've never played it since.
We'll talk about this in the new year, but I want to ask my girlfriend if she plays this with her family. But I'm not going to ask now, so don't answer.
Oh, comment it on the YouTube because of engagement. We're cutting both
Do it!
out. Anyway,
Woo! Sorry.
so my rose for the year. That's a great question. My rose is probably. You see, I'm gonna say this podcast again, but that's true. But it's more than just this podcast because this podcast is just a symptom of a greater year. It is just been so productive, and I've worked so hard, and I've made new goals because of this year. My thorn this year, overall, this year's been pretty high. The few dark things that have happened here this year just hit me hard, I don't want to get into too many specifics, but it just, some people make choices, and I don't always agree with them.
I still love you, buddy.
Wasn't you. But, it's just a fact of life. Sometimes people are going to do what you don't want them to do, and they don't realize how that affects other people. And that's just how it is. Sometimes they say something
Mhm.
terrible, and you just got to be like, it's okay. Even though it's not. Oddly specific
Scott's
again.
feelings got hurt by a very specific event. I don't know what it is, but I think it's funny if he told the class right now.
No. So my bud for the year 2025, I think has to be some of these projects I have cooking in my brain. Because this semester was 2024. I mean, was just dedicated to the podcast, right? That was the goal. And now that this is off the ground and reaching people, like, thank you, thank you for watching.
The viewership in the back.
I'm just so happy and so humbled almost that you guys tune in all the time. Like, there's about, like, according to the thing, like 6 reoccurring viewers, and to those 6 people who've watched every episode, thank you. But my bud is for future projects because I have 2 projects in mind that I want to work on.
He's cooking something up a storm
I am.
and cocaine. Can you cook cocaine to eat? Math.
No, we're not-
Math is what you cooked.
Bo peep him.
Bo PV.
Yeah, just get the hook and fling.
Shink.
But I'm just excited for the products, the productions
And
I'm
he's calling
going
it
to
product. He's cooking in his product.
make. Look, I have some crazy things cooking in the future. A lot of it's gonna be pretty cool, and it's watchable.
It's film related.
It's all film related.
Good
okay?
Lord, specify, man. You said cooking and product in the same sentence, and my brain went to a not good place.
It's not what you think.
Oh, even film could be used in a not good place.
No, shut up. Off.
Scott,
Off the host. No longer a part of this podcast. Hi,
Oh.
I'm here with the Scott Show where we only talk with Scott. Scott, how's your day going? Oh, it's going great. I'm so happy you asked me.
He's also schizophrenic.
So another 5
We
minutes.
haven't got Rosebud and Thorn down yet. That was too good.
Well, only I said 10 minutes into the episode. We're gonna add on an additional 10 minutes.
Gentlemen, back to Rosebud and Thorn.
Hi
So-
guys, I'm Scott. Welcome back to the Talking Stone podcast.
So
Yo, finish up your thought. I'm sorry.
I'm just excited for the future things I get to create. Like, I have a lot planned. I have a few projects.
products.
projects
Projects.
I am
Projects.
working on,
Projects.
and I'm just. Thank you. He's my hype man.
Thank you.
So
So
this is gonna be one of those episodes. I only know it. So my bud is the future projects I'm working on. So diving back into this because we wasted 10 minutes.
Worth it.
Worth it. So to dive into
This is
the
part of the content we create here.
Yes,
at
it
the
is.
Talking Stone.
to dive man, I can't wait until we're big enough to have live shows so we can't edit anything out.
I'm genuinely so ready for that.
So to dive into the main topic of the episode, what is a moment of fame or infamy that you can remember?
Infamy.
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 What is a event that you can remember, and how has it propelled you?
A moment of fame or infamy. A new moment of fame or infamy that I haven't talked about yet. I gotta think about that. I wasn't prepared for this. I know we discussed the questions beforehand, but I wasn't. I came up with the idea because I've had some moments of infamy come up to me recently, not my own, but other people's. My roommate situation. That's hilarious. I love my roommate. He's a great guy.
We love him.
Yeah, I don't endorse everything he says, but he has his moments.
He's got moments. I'll tell you that much.
You not like my roommate, man?
It's not that I don't like him.
I
send these
to him every time he dies.
He says the darndest things. Anyway.
Yeah, but I'd say a moment of infamy that really stuck with me was the consistency. I say moment. This is like 3 consistent moments of infamy that would always stick with me. Was in middle school, I got into a lot of fights. Not that I was like going to win these fights. I was just an antagonist in school. Listen, the antagonist is the protagonist now, so ha! Anyway.
Showing them.
Yeah, so I got into a fight almost every year in middle school, so 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And it's on the same day, field day.
Yeah.
Field day.
Oh boy,
Yep.
you could go on about field day.
It's the same thing. In 8th grade, that paralysis trip that I had was the field day. So it was a fight. Well, less of a fight then, but it had been like my biggest fear of I don't want to go to school because like I know something bad's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up in a fight. My mother always told me I had to go. I'm 13. I don't give a rat's tooey. So I always went, and I say those days would always live in my mind like rent free. I remember the 6th grade fight very vividly. We were on the field behind the baseball field next to the woods. And, we were playing tackle football because no one wants to take, care of two-hand touch. And the parents watching us, didn't care because they were just volunteer parents staring and being like, oh, yeah, they're fine. No broken bones. So,
They're just playing.
Yeah,
Boys are being boys.
they're just
the
playing.
famous line. Boys are just being boys.
Yeah, and I remember distinctly, you just that imagery of my head of I remember how in 6th grade wasn't even a fight. I was very much beat down in 6th grade. It was not helpful in any sense,
Do you think these moments of infamy, moments of fame, depending on how you look at it, how do you think they've propelled you, and how do you think they've changed you for the better or for the worst?
Yeah, no. So these moments of infamy, definitely live rent free in my head, and not always the most positive impact. Definitely if you're in a fight, it's not the greatest thing. But I always had the viewpoint of myself. I was a little kid, and when 8th grade happened, paralysis happened. Again, I've talked about it being my push to be a stronger person, and physically, mentally, both. It was definitely the start of my workout journey. Me starting to play a sport more seriously, which was track and cross country. I ran very seriously, not always the serious at times, but I was competitive in it, and I tried to keep myself as in shape as I could. And then midway through my junior year of high school, I also started going to the gym, and I continued that all the way through the end of my senior year. And that was just something that I was always proud of, I'd say.
It's really interesting how these things create new opportunities. Like, for example, I don't think I have a specific day. Depends on the person. A lot of this is perspective. Me personally, I don't think I have a specific day where I can point to and be like, no, that's a day I'm infamous for. I can't think of one.
Scott's way too good for us guys, so
That
no moments.
That being said, I have definitely crossed a few feathers before and made people
You
annoyed.
ruffled some feathers.
Yeah. And they probably consider that a day of infamy that I did to them.
Infamy.
Tomato, tomato. So,
Tomato.
tomato, tomato,
Tomato.
tomato, tomato,
Tomato.
tomato,
Tomato.
tomato. It's the same difference.
There's a reference I could make here.
But to a lot of these folk, what I did was, not inexcusable or anything. I didn't do anything that bad, but it's stuff that really wronged them. And, from my perspective, I'm like, oh, I'm just doing the right thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. But from their perspective, it wasn't the right thing. So I don't think me personally, I have any time I can point and be like, ooh, no, I'm infamous for that. Like, people know me for doing that wrong thing. But I know I have people who consider something I did as wrong. So I definitely have a day of infamy, but I don't have one that I call infamy.
Infinity. Going on.
Moving on from that,
Right.
what is something that is stopping you from doing what you love?
Well, it doesn't just have to be something. It could be someone,
It could be.
loved ones, such as your immediate family will have a very big impact on your opinion, how your
They
opinion's
always have an
formed.
opinion.
hmm They have an impact on your opinion and how it's formed as you grow up. Living around in that environment or whichever environment you live in can really shape how you think, how you process decision making, and all sorts of stuff like that. And I think that's a really big key aspect to that. And what could stop you is, some of the things, like people have told you, your loved ones, your family, say your parents don't want you to get this degree. They want you to get this degree so you can make money. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying there's a lot of that goes around. I know that's a really relatable thing for a lot of college kids, that their parents want them to get the degree that makes them the money and then rakes in the cash. And whether it's what the kid wants to do or loves or not,
It gets put to the side.
it does. And parents are always supportive of your passion, but they say, it's their side hustle. Your main hustle is, your job. And I don't always see that the same way. I think, if you put the effort of your job into what you love, and it's what you love, you're going to have 10 times more motivation to do what you love for money, heaven forbid. It's making you bank or whatever it's making you. I call any money bank because I'm broke. And it's something you could love to do, but you feel that barrier to you. I'm very indecisive about what I want my major to be right now because, I want it to do something that will make me money. But at the same time, I want to do something I love, and I'm trying to find a marriage between that. And that's just kind of the path I'm choosing right now is, to try to find that marriage. I know I'm good with computers. I could go with data science. I could go with computer science. I also know that, it's not what I love to do.
Yeah, no, I think you said it better. Luckily, my family has been very hands off in what I do for a major and what I do for a minor. Well, actually, that's not true. They were mad at me for picking music as a minor.
Cringe.
But I just love doing this stuff. But what got them to come to my side on this was I showed them the work I can do and some of the things I can make. And they're like, holy cow, you're actually kind of good at this.
Scott, how much money have you made off of your works before?
Off like all this? Zero.
Not this.
Oh.
Have you ever done writing and made money off of it?
Oh, for scholarships, but that's different.
That's money. That's more money than I've ever got.
But
Because of my writing.
well, scholarships are really important to get you through school. I can't be here without it, and I'm very thankful for the opportunities I get. And I happen to be a good writer, and yes, that's gotten me some money to go to school, but nothing for my pocket. It all
Yeah.
goes back to what I do, what I'm working towards. Like
I
these are
would
all
say,
my
yeah.
goals for the future, and I can't do it if I don't go to college.
I feel like even if you did make money off of this, it would go right back into filming this podcast. and
absolutely.
improving the quality here.
If I had enough money, I'd completely change the studio. I can't, like I've talked about it one
Scott,
time.
how much do you like this desk?
I despise this desk. It's shaped like a weird malformed triangle. And it's so awkward to film around.
Came out
like
the birth canal sideways.
right now we have right now
Paint that picture.
right now we have this what's it called? new setup where the cameras are, and I like it. But that only really works if there's two people talking. So normally the show is a 3-man job. You know, we have me, co-host, guest, two co-hosts, guest. You know, we sub everyone out now and again because, you know, we want more variety. We want you to be, oh, who's going to be on it this episode? Of course I'm going to be on it. But, you know, you need to, I like that formula. And, you know, since it's the end of the semester, a lot of my friends are focusing on finals. So I haven't been able to be like, hey, you're an expert in this. How about I bring you all on? Because, you know, they have lives. So next semester, I'm hoping to bring more people on. But the problem is with this table and this setup, the setup I have right now, the fact that I can look at you doesn't really work because there's normally a human being right here. So it's an interesting obstacle I'm going to have to tackle next semester. But I'm excited. Oh my gosh, am I excited for next semester because I'm so happy it's New Year.
So would you be open to opportunity of like you maybe not being on the show for once and like you in the back watching it
absolutely.
happen?
I will be in the back.
Yeah.
I'll never be on set, but I'm open to not being like on the episode.
Yeah.
But like, because I think having that
rotation could be good.
is nice
Mhm.
because it's like, okay, and you know, sometimes I don't have something of value to add to the conversation. I want to be on most episodes. It's my podcast after all. But like, maybe I'm sick one day and I need to go off. I don't mind giving the reins to someone else. You know? And
Not me is what that look meant.
nah. But, you know, it's all part of the game, you know? And it's a game I'm trying to play. You know, this isn't technically the podcast episode because, you know, it's New Year's. It's about goals. It's about love.
We're
it's
having fun.
about all that fun stuff. But, like, I don't mind talking about this because I want to succeed at this. This is, like, my dream right now. I'm living my dream. If this really gets off the ground, I'll be so happy. YouTube is the best job you can ever have. And I think you can agree with me.
Yeah. YouTube?
Yeah. Like, that being your career, think about it real quick. The opportunities and doors that open up are, first off, kind of insane. You wouldn't expect it. And the people you reach and the people you can help.
Well, it also brings up the debate, you know, how much do you put yourself out there before, you know, you're giving too much up and people, you know, start coming after you.
Well, absolutely. And I know especially if this does pick up, I am not going to be able to avoid controversy. It's a fact of the job. It's a fact of the internet. It's a fact of everything. I know whatever I'm going to walk into, it's not going to be a fun thing because it's going to probably be something political. I already know it. And
Good.
but like, I'm also gonna, unless it's really wrong and out there, I'm gonna stick to my guns because it's my opinion and you should respect it. You might not agree with it, but you should respect it. Hell, a lot of the people on this podcast, me and their opinions, we don't always match. Like, we disagree. But that's why I bring them on, because I want to have a conversation. You need to talk to people you do not like. You need to talk to people you disagree with. And you need to talk to people who you disagree with on a fundamental level. Because these people, first off, help you grow because they challenge your worldview, right? They rock your world. They either make you so angry or they make you so sad or they make you so something that you need to do something about it. And that's a great thing. But you need to also treat them like people, even if you disagree with it wholeheartedly. You can't change their mind if you're calling them any form of deduction. If you say communist, if you say German sympathizer, you will
Racist.
You will not change their mind. You will only alienate them from your side, in your opinion. If you know a racist, you should talk to them. You should talk to that racist. Not because you agree with what they say, but because you have an opportunity to show them a better way of life. To make them realize, oh, man, I'm just being dumb. You know? They won't get that outside point of view if you don't show them it. And I think a lot of us could improve on just society if we took that mindset. Instead of shunning people we shun, talk to them, explain to them why what they did is wrong, and they're gonna defend themselves, and you should listen. You know, like listen to what they have to say because you might disagree, but it's real to them. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I can talk to my roommate. My bad. Not to rat him out, not naming names. Winston.
Don't do Winston like that.
We're gonna
Winston's a
put
great
that
guy. Winnie T. We love Winnie T. We went to Topgolf with him the other day, and it's again, he's someone who has a different point of view than maybe me or you or even Lauren, and my voice just cracked, and that's really entertaining. So but it's always about having dialogue, being able to socialize with that person and show them, what it's like to interact with other, parts of the world that can show
They
them a
don't
new
see.
light, a new perspective. Yeah. And it's, a lot of what we talk about here on the Talking Stone is about the perspective that you have on something. That's how you break the wall, you overcome adversity, like things like that.
You need to talk to them because they won't change and they won't know what they're doing is wrong if you don't talk to them. You have to address it, bring it out into the light. Now, I'm not saying cancel them, whatever. No, that's the exact
This is-
opposite. I'm saying have a real conversation with them.
This is how I framed it earlier when I talked to Scott about something like this, talking to people that disagree with you. It's like open negotiations. This is because I'm a nerd. I'm a history nerd. I like talking about treaties, constitutions, stuff like that. That's me. And it's like opening negotiations. Whenever an issue comes up, make an amendment. Whenever you run into a new problem, open negotiations again. Just fix the mistake. It's not hard to do. This is how I framed it: is make a new treaty. Just have a dialogue, negotiations, talk it out. It doesn't need to resort to, cancel culture, violence, just anything to avoid that kind of thing. When you silence someone, you don't silence their voice, you suppress their thought.
Yeah, and they're
It's-
still thinking it and they might still be saying it offline. They just aren't saying it publicly.
And when you're doing that, you're radicalizing them. You
Exactly.
put in a greater risk, higher potential for violent crime. Could be an issue with something like that. People take stuff very deeply when they, are insulted their opinions.
And when they
People
don't feel heard, forget about it. These poor people, they think
When they're not
no one's
heard.
going to listen to me. How do I make them listen? I'm going to blow up a building. Like, you alienate them and it's terrible. It's so sad. It makes me so upset. My heart goes out to people who feel so isolated that they're called to do such drastic things. It's
Really?
more than just sadness at that point. It's just complete isolation. You're stuck in a cold, dark place, and it's terrible.
Yeah. I don't say I've ever been, stuck out there in that position where I feel I've been silenced, but I've definitely been stuck out there in that position. I think we all have moments where we've been stuck out there and we feel like we have no voice for ourselves and we just want to be heard. And it's sometimes not a cry for attention, but it's a cry for
Help.
someone to hear us help.
Just listen, please.
We're not trying to be destructive. We're not trying to be disruptive. We're not trying to be attention-seeking hogs. We're looking for someone to listen because we believe we have something that could help, or we have something that could improve our lives. We have something that can make a difference. And when you ignore that, when you silence that, you don't make it better. You don't make the problem go away. I still want to tell you what I wanted to say. And it takes a lot out of a friendship, a family, relationship, any kind of ship you're on, silencing the other person could be detrimental to your cause if you want to stick with this person or if you want to stay friends with your family or friends with your friends. It could be detrimental to that. Never resort to silencing, violence, and just don't do it. Just talk.
Please.
It out. Like Scott and me right here.
We bump heads all the time. Like,
It's mostly because we're dumb. I went bump my head.
but
on that thing.
But it's just important that you give these people maybe not a stage, but
No.
give them
A platform. It's not as big as a stage. It's like this table. This isn't a stage.
Mm-mm.
This is like a platform. Social media is a platform. Give them an outlet, like a waterfall. The water runneth over. Don't let it run over. Break a wall in the dam so it doesn't flood the town, and let it go. Make a little waterfall.
I just, you just, because, no, I'm upset. I am.
late.
No, it's because I'm upset because I've seen people turn to terrible habits, turn to terrible ideas, turn to terrible feelings because they
Mhm.
feel so alone. And it hurts me. It really hurts me.
Yeah. No, there have definitely been dark moments in everyone's lives, and I think we can all relate to that kind of fact, and that we've had our times, but we know we always need to pick our heads up, not to end on a bad note. It's the new year. We
Yeah.
got way too serious for the new year.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's the topic of the podcast.
we even talked about being lighthearted before this. No, but we always need to remember, pick our heads up, chin up, keep a smile on your face, and don't just force it, but embrace it.
Mm.
Because the smile is there, the love is there. People around you care about you. The people that you meet on the streets, they don't care about you, but if you talk to get to know them and they get to know you, they can
will
care
care.
about you. Yeah. There's a lot of love and care in the world, and you just need to be able to find that in your place of darkness.
So this is kind of a good segue since we're talking about YouTube and cancer culture and all that. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? Do you control how you're remembered?
I want to be remembered for making a difference in the world, not just going to work like everyone else and doing my 9 to 5, making money and providing for my family. That is the most noble cause I think a person can pursue. But I want to be remembered for making a difference in not just one person's life, not just my family lives. I want to make a difference on a very large scale because I feel like there's a lot of big problems that could be fixed with really easy solutions. And I believe in what I can do is good. And I'll put the test of democracy at work one day, hopefully, and see if people agree with me. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if they agree, we'll see what happens. But my goal is to leave a lasting legacy of helping millions of people.
I mean, of course, my, legacy I want to have is very similar. I want to help people. I want to be able to change lives for the better. I don't know if I want to be remembered for all time. I hope people remember me for a while.
Yeah,
But
all time's a stretch.
I want people to know who I am. And I want people to look at my work. I want people to look at what I do, what I make. I want people to study it. I'm trying to get into the film industry and all that. I want to make a movie.
Really, we didn't know, Scott.
I want to make a movie that people in 15 years have to study in college. And they're like, oh, I can't believe I have to watch this movie for the 15th time because I need to write a paper about it on how he made this spoon a certain angle to convey an emotion. Like, I want people studying my stuff.
What's funny is Scott would 100% write the answer key and then never release it. And he'd be like, it's a treasure hunt. Who's going to find it? You would be the kind of guy to be like, I know professor's going to write, homeworks about this, so here's your answer key.
Mine.
Yeah, like, mine.
Mine.
I did this.
Me. But
And that's your legacy.
I want people to remember the things I make. That's what I care about. I don't care if they remember me as a human being. I want them to remember the things I make. And I want them to, when they do think of me as the human being, because again, I'm a human, I want them to look at what I make and be like, how do I do that? I want them to look at my moral character and be like, he held his head up high, he stuck to his guns, and I want to do something like that. I want to inspire people. That's the legacy I want to leave behind. A legacy of inspiration.
I think if your mindset is in the right place, stick to your guns, and you're gonna figure it out. I promise you'll figure it out. No one's ever just lost. If you need a helping hand, that's okay. Everyone needs a helping hand every now and then. Sometimes you need to send a life raft because the boat is sinking. Maybe you can save the boat. You could, pump the water out of the boat and get the boat right back to where it was. Every ship isn't lost just because it starts sinking. You can always pick it yourself up.
Sorry.
Now go on. I got this.
So we've finally
Take us
come
home.
to the end, Again, we started talking about the new year and things we're looking forward to. Then we talked about cancer culture and, isolation.
Personal opinions.
And now
Entitlement to that.
we talked about legacy. I commend everyone who stood through this because this was like an emotional roller coaster. We started off so high and then we kind of took it down to a middle and then we took it down to really low.
The
And
dark place.
The dark place. We kind of got a little
Not to laugh
sappy.
at people's dark places, but sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to laugh in the face of darkness, danger,
Gallows humor.
fear. That's what I do. That's what I've done for a long time. I don't mean to keep us going, but
No, it's good.
I've always laughed at fear.
Mhm.
Like even if, and hear me out, I will still be a wuss sometimes and be like, I don't want to go on that roller coaster. That's too high. But like, I'll laugh at it. That's funny as hell. Like, but like, you just gotta
You
be
need
able
to
to
have gallows humor because
You
otherwise
do.
you have two choices. You can cry or you can laugh. And a lot of the time I choose laugh. Now that's not always healthy. But
down the barrel of his camera, he says this.
sometimes you just need to do it to get through it. There's a time and place to process your emotions. But with all that being said,
Yes.
we are at the end.
Reached our time limit.
So
Well past it.
I wish you a happy new year, happy holidays, and thank you for watching. I've been Scott.
And I'm John Silk on Instagram at the John Silk.
I was just about to ask, where can they find you?
Wow, I wonder where.
So they can find you at the John Silk,
the John Silk.
and
on
they can
Insta.
find me at the Talking Stone Podcast. Again, thank you so much for watching.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.